The 1 week observation of the passing of the Asantehemaa is taking place. Anabachi Yadom joins me from the palace grounds where the funeral service is underway.
All right, so we are live at the Mensia Palace, Jabrim. Is where we are having the 1 week observation of the late Asantehemaa Nana Kunedu Yadom III. And in your shot, you can see the Vice President leading government delegation. That's Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman. We also have the NDC's National Chairman, Johnson Esiedu Inketia, who is also seated with the Vice President. We also have the Chief of Staff, that is Julius Debra, who is also seated with the Vice President, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman. And then we have the General Secretary of the NDC, that is Fifi Fiavi-Kwete. Other members of the National Democratic Congress and then government have arrived there. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwakohine, is seated also with the Vice President. And also for the NDC side. On the MPP side, Elton, we have the former President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and we have the former Chief of Staff, Freeman Opare. We have the regional chairman of the MPP, Chairman Entry Bosiako, Bernard Entry Bosiako, Chairman Wuntumi. The former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and his wife, the former Second Lady, Hajia Samira Bawumia, have all arrived at the Mensia Palace, observing the 1 week of the late Asantehemaa Nana Kunedu Yadom III. You can see tight security over here at the Mensia Palace. The Asantehene is seated and receiving greetings at the moment. So far, we are waiting for the Vice President to walk through to where the Asantehene is seated so that the Vice President would exchange pleasantries with the Asantehene. But before that is done, before she even took her seat, the Vice President went to the setup for the Book of Condolence to write out her tribute to the late Asantehemaa Nana Kunedu Yadom. She went there with the NDC delegation, the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the MPP have also done same. And so, Elton, that is a rundown here at the Mensia Palace. We are celebrating the life of the late Asantehemaa Nana Kunedu Yadom III, who passed on earlier this month of August. This is the 14th Asantehemaa of the Ashanti Kingdom. She happens to be she happens to be the 14th Asantehemaa and passed at the age of 98. She took over from her mother, Nana Efwakobi Sewa Ampim, in the year 2017, and so she sat on the stool for 8 good years until her demise earlier this year. Now, this has become some way, somehow, some form of history for the people of the Ashanti Kingdom, but in history that comes in sadness and sorrow. And so this one is being observed in a very solemn mood by the Ashanti people. And so over here we have the dignitaries continue to troop in. The over 60 paramountcies are seated here at the Mensia Palace. We have the Nairi coming in. We have the chiefs from Ahafo region, the Bunu region, the northern region, Savannah region, northeast region. All of them coming to pay their respects to the late Asantehemaa Nana Kunedu Yadom. And so you can see the paramount chiefs, some of them seated gallantly here. As we observe the 1 week observation, we have all of the chiefs, the over 60 paramountcies are all seated here. I can see the Mansum Kwantahene and then the Mansum Kwantahemaa are seated here at the Mensia Palace. That is the Mansum Kwantahene and then the Mansum Kwantahemaa seated here, observing all of it for the 1 week of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konedu Yadom III. And that is what has drawn thousands of people to the Mensia Palace this afternoon, Elton. The event started at exactly 12 p.m. midday, and as at now 4:09, it is still taking place. The Queen Mothers and the Chiefs all seated here, clad in red, black and brown, the mourning colors of the Ashanti Kingdom, signifying grief, sorrow, and a lot more. Some of them have lost their mother, some of them have lost their sister, and for the Ashanti Kingdom, we have lost a counselor and one that plays a very significant role in the Ashanti hierarchy. She plays the counseling role and the advisory role all together. That is the role of the late Asantehemaa, Nana Konedu Yadom. And her role is so much important to the extent that at every point in time when an Asantehene passes on, it rests upon her to elect or select in accordance or with the guidance of the Council of Elders, a new Asantehene, one who would take over to occupy the golden stool. That tells you the significant role that a Queen Mother or a Queen Mother plays in the Ashanti hierarchy. This is why it is very much important to climax even her 1 week observation in this grand style. It is a blend of culture and modernity over here at the Mensia Palace. We can see the umbrellas in different colors, different shapes, with different symbols. Small, huge, medium, all of it with its meaning. Some telling you that indeed, Ahimfochinie, Ebididi, Ebiechi, just as it is said in the Akan language. And so, Queen Mothers all coming in, some of them seated beneath their huge umbrellas, some seated beneath their small umbrellas, some even without umbrellas at all, and they all have meanings. And so all the people you see here are the ones closer to the Asantehene, most of them forming part of the Oyoko clan, the clan that the Asantehemaa and the Asantehene belong to. So that's how you come, you see all of these chiefs here. They tell us that they are mourning their daughter, their sister, and their mother. It tells you that it is very, very much important. They hold the Asantehemaa in high esteem. And so this day is very, very much important. And in the Ashanti Kingdom, your 1 week observation is a significant step when you pass, because it tells us the role, or it forms part of the culture that we have here. And so now the Vice President, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, is coming to pay or exchange pleasantries with the Asantehene. You can see the regional Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwakwene, the Regional Mayor, Richard Wedu, the NDC Chairman seated, adjoining the delegation, the Vice President herself, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, going in to pay homage or exchange pleasantries with His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. And when this is being done, everything would have to cease. All form of activities would have to come to a halt. The Vice President is joined by the Inspector General of Police and the Regional Police Commander, joined by the National Security Operatives, to come and represent His Excellency, the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. And so the Vice President, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Her Excellency, that is what you see, going to exchange pleasantries with the Asantehene leading government delegation. It is a colorful event here at the Mensia Palace, Jabrin, the forecourt itself. A huge ceremony, 1 week observation held in honor of the Asantehemaa, Nana Konedu Yadom III. The Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, is also here as Chief of Staff at the Presidency. We also have Ministers of States, Members of Parliament from both parties or both sides of Parliament, the minority and the majority, all joining the Asantehene in observing the 1 week of the Asantehemaa. I have spotted ministers, the Minister for Works and Housing, I've spotted the Ashanti Regional Minister, the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. The Ahafo Regional Minister is also here. We have the Ahafo Regional Minister, the Honorable Charity, is also among the delegation that have come in with the Vice President. So you're watching the Vice President, Professor J. Nano Pokwajiman, exchanging pleasantries with the Asantehemaa. She has come in to mark this very important day with the Asantehemaa President to exchange pleasantries. All the functionaries joining the Vice President would exchange pleasantries with the Asantehemaa. The Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, Julius Deborah, is also here. As I mentioned earlier, the NPP side had the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former Chief of Staff Freeman Opare, the former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and his spouse Samira Bawumia, the former Vice Presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, who happens to also come from the Mensha Palace, Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh, is also in here. We have the former Minister of Education, Dr. Oseya Weduchum, the regional chairman of the NPP, Bernard Entubo Siako. All of them are in. The British High Commissioner is also part of the dignitaries who've come to mourn with the Asantehemaa. The Inspector General of Police, not to forget the Ghana Journalists Association, led by its president Albert Jumfor, have also come in to exchange pleasantries with the Asantehemaa. The Ghana National Union of Ghana Students, NUCS, have also been represented. The Ghana Bar Association, have also come in to exchange pleasantries with the Asantehemaa. High commissioners, judges, paramounts, chiefs have all exchanged pleasantries with Asantehemaa. And now it is the time for Professor J. Nano Pokwajiman, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, exchanging pleasantries with the Asantehemaa. And so this is very significant in the custom and tradition of Ashanti. The 1 week observation takes lead, a possible .TA, and then the funeral rites itself, the final funeral rites itself, is likely to be announced today. Customarily, it is done at the 1 week observation, and so we are expecting the announcement to be made before the close of this event. Dignitaries come in not just to exchange pleasantries, but they also come in to give out their token to support the funeral of the Asantehemaa. And so all the people you see here are mourners, sympathizers who've been driven from far and near to join the Asantehemaa, mark the 1 week observation of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konadu Yadom III, the 14th Asantehemaa of the Ashanti Kingdom.
We now welcome Honorable Dr. Brian Achiapo.
We have the former Member of Parliament for Asin Central, also Kennedy Ohene Japan. We have the Honorable Brian Echampong, also part of the NPP's delegation. They are all going to pay their homage or exchange their pleasantries with His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. And I can tell you that we have thousands of people all over the streets of Mensia, thousands of them inside the inner perimeter, and even thousands here at Jabrim. The numbers here are overwhelming, hence the tight and heavy security that you see here. And so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's presence is being acknowledged here at the grounds, and his contribution is being announced as well. As I was indicating earlier, thousands of people are here. This is the forecourt of the Mensia Palace, Jabrim, where you're watching the 1 week observation of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konadu Yiadom III. The Inspector General of Police done exchanging pleasantries with the Asantehene. Others would follow in same style. Nananom are expected to remain seated until the Asantehene himself moves off his seat. That is when we will bring the event to a close. The IGP's contribution acknowledged. Members of Parliament's contributions are being acknowledged. The Vice President, Professor Jane Anopo-Kwajiman, her presence has been acknowledged alongside her delegation representing His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama. You're watching the 1 week observation of the late Asantehemaa Nana Konadu Yiadom live here on Joy News. Live scenes of the funeral observation. Former and current ministers of states are all seated here for this event. 98 years of age. She took over in 2017 as the Asantehemaa when her mother, Nana Efeakobi Sewampim II, passed. In real life, she was known as Nana Ama Konadu, and during the time when she had to take over as Asantehemaa, she went to tap onto the stool named Nana Konadu Yiadom III. From 2017, she played the counseling role and the advisory role due her as Asantehemaa, significant in the custom and tradition of Ashanti Kingdom. She did all that customarily for 8 years until her demise earlier this month of August. Nana Konadu Yadom III
Honorable Charity Governor,
played a very significant role in championing women empowerment, supporting the Asantehenea's education fund, and empowering young girl education. Nana Konadu Yadom III will be remembered for all that she played, all the role, significant ones, one that was obvious and that one that was not even obvious, one that was done indoor and one that was done outdoor is what she'll be acknowledged for. You can see chiefs, queen mothers, all seated here at Jabrim. And also at the palace of the Queen Mother, we have
His Royalty is believed in tradition, is emotional and ambiguous. Honorable Dr. Achempa is a member of Parliament and is here to